over the glitters, and this is Mod Podge here with paint mixed in, and I just had these from a leopard that I did, so I figured I can just use the light colored blue for the lighter colors, the darker for the darker, and the just plain white for the lighter colors. Now this I've linked down in the description. This is a cut file. You purchase it, you can use it as many times as you want. It's yours after you buy it. I have the transfer tape here. I'll link this. I'm not 100% sold on this transfer tape, but I will link it. It's okay. It's not as sticky or powerful as I would have liked it, but it's doing better than what I was using before. So we're just going to cut this to fit this, you know, pretty much where we need it. Give us a little bit of leeway. But, and I just used the guides here. Okay, I'm going to cut that. Then we will apply it to our cup. Now this part with the applying to the cup is going to be a little more difficult because you have to put the whole thing around the cup. But I didn't do anything to the cup. Well, I say I didn't do anything. I acetone, alcohol, cleaned it up, and I have not touched it since. So I'm going to put this on put the transfer tape on here, and you can see that it's allowing for the tapered. So it's a little bit bigger here and then tapered here. So you want to make sure you keep that the right way, right? So when you put it on there, and you don't need this to be like no bubbles or anything like that. You do need it to be pretty straight, because once you start going down, you don't want it to be wobbling. So you want it to be straight, but you don't have to worry about bubbles and all that, because we're going to be peeling these up, peeling them up, peeling them up, peeling them up as we go down. So that this piece is not staying on there. The glitter is going to stay, but these pieces aren't, so we don't care how they look as far as that part of it. But you do want it straight. So I'm going to do the rest of this in fast motion, because this is just going to be something you're going to just have to do yourself to see and feel it and understand it. So this is a removable vinyl. I didn't use a regular vinyl because I'm going to be taking... I'm probably not going to do this all in one sitting, so I don't want it to get like really stuck on there. Okay, so you don't want to use a regular serious vinyl that's permanent vinyl, because then it can get, if you're like, oh, I have to walk away for a little bit, it can get stuck and you're really having to peel it up. Then you've got glue and pieces on there. So this is just removable, plus it's cheaper than using your good stuff, unless you just have some stuff that, if you're going to do it all in one sitting, then, and you have some cheap permanent vinyl that you want to get rid of or something, I would do it, but I wouldn't let it sit on there. That's just my advice. If it works for you and you've done it before, then go right on ahead. So anyways, next step is putting it on. Okay, that was a little more with that transfer tape than I had imagined. This part right here, so I don't know if I didn't measure it right, or I don't know, somehow it just didn't get all the way, but what I'm going to do is just remove this and just bring that down. So I'll just make that one little piece there. I think that'll work. So then with the lines, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with the lines just yet, but there's a lot of different ways we could do it. You could kind of make it like you can trace certain zigzaggy pieces out, or you could do them all uniformed, or, you know, it's just kind of how you feel. So the next step is we're going to remove these as we go and add our glitters, add our Mod Podge and add our glitters. So this is going to be a longer process. So I'm not going to sit there and talk the whole time. I might just talk a little bit in the beginning on what it's like to do it, and then I'll stop it and we'll you know, just speed it up from there. So, but that's what it should look like. And it looks pretty straight, I think. I don't know if you can see those cut lines. Yeah, so that is, and one of the things that she talked about that she sent with it was that that when this comes in, it'll be black and you won't be able to see the cut lines. So just make sure you change it to a different color and you'll be able to see the cut lines. So that was I was like, what? This is just a black square. But then I changed it to gray and boom, all the cuts were there. So just a little tip. Anyways, next step is glitter. Okay, so I have gone through all of my lighter colors here, and I had stopped like right at this second thing here. Well, I wanted to get my son, and I came back. Well, when I came back and peeled this up, it was kind of peeling a little bit of this color up. So I would suggest, if you can, doing this, you know, kind of pretty much all at one time, or like I was saying with the removable vinyl, make sure you're using removable vinyl, because this is coming up really easy. And before you leave, you know, before you're going to leave and for a while and this is going to dry, I would just remove this one little piece off, so that you don't get that dried edge. Now this one, what I was going to do with this very top one, since it's already dried and done, I was just going to leave it. But when we get to it, I was just going to take a little bit of just kind of like a razor blade or a X-Acto knife, you know, and just kind of slice just right on that edge there, just to kind of loosen it up. So I think that's going to work, because I did it on a couple of these. I just kind of sliced it a little bit and it came up, and that way there wasn't that big of a, because some of it, like the glue was kind of peeling up, like a little bit that had gotten over on this piece, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. So like this right here, how that's over the edge, it was just kind of like peeling up the other part too. So if you just slice a little bit down just to kind of loosen that, and then it'll give you that straight edge. Hope that makes sense. So anyways, I've done my silvers, and in hindsight, I still like the way it looks. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. This is going to be given as a gift, so it's not like I'm trying to make it for somebody, you know, they're paying for it or they had a particular thing in mind. This is something that I wanted to show y'all, teach y'all how to do it, and, you know, just a different design, that kind of thing. But I would have probably painted this white. I think it would have given me just a little bit more of a solid base, but I thought with it being a lot of silvers and blues, I thought the silver wouldn't matter. But I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means, but I think I might have done it. I would have just done a white base, but that's totally up to you, and depending on what kind of colors you're using, you know. But like I said, this is just a technique. I'm just kind of showing you how to do this. So I'm going to do a little bit more of the blue and speed that up, just so you can kind of see just a little bit more of how it's looking. And then we'll go into, once it's done, how we're going to take it from there. Okay. Okay, some more, just going through the process and just kind of giving you some advice of what I think, or just some little tips here. So this right here, these two here, I messed up. You know, I was holding it like this, doing it, and I realized that I probably should be holding it like this. So, because I was rolling it on the ground, you know. Anyways, just little tips. Then I realized that I started, so we're going to have to take like what comes next here, here, and here. So for here, we're just going to come up like this, and we're going to go like that. Now, it just didn't occur to me when I first started that that's how it would kind of end up, which is fine. That's not what I'm, you know, I'm not, it's not a bad thing. If you are, now, I mean, I would just say, like, I mean, you could have tried to figure out, you know, once you got down here, you know, which one was going to be coming up this way, if that makes any sense. Like if, you know, you would say, oh, this one's going to be right down here, so I'm going to peel it up. Well, I probably wouldn't do that, only because you might get a little confused. You might get a little off on your count or whatever. Me personally, I would just stick with just starting in one spot, going down, and then coming back up and finishing, you know, the top and just redoing those glitters that you started down with here, you know, that kind of thing. Because, I don't know, I would get confused. But if you are like sharp and, you know, I'm 43 with a 4-year-old, so that ain't gonna happen. My brain is fried. So anyways, these pieces here, like this right here, these little mistakes. And then I also forgot to do this color here. I forgot to do it down here. So I will just do that, you know, as I'm coming back to this color, I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? So those types of things, all you have to do is just put a little bit more of the paint and the glue, a little bit more glue, put a little bit of the glitter there. Boom, it's done. You're good to go. Now, I am going to continue to do this. I would say this would probably take you a good 2 hours total time. Because, yeah, I mean, it's taken me about an hour to do this first part total, and then I probably will take me another hour or more. So this definitely is not for, you know, you're going to probably have to charge a little bit more for this. And then once we do the lines, that kind of thing, there's going to be some labor involved, but I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and it is going to make a statement, and that's what I wanted. And something different, something fun, something y'all can do. If you have a table out in your workspace, and you know, in your living room or something, you can watch TV or put your TV on in your craft room and watch some movies or something while you're doing it. Just pay attention. And this one's pretty bad too. I'm going to have to redo this. So, but all of those things can be done afterwards. You can put a little bit more glue and fix it, and no problem. So, but I'm excited. I think it looks really nice. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like in the end. But I'm going to continue. I might show a few more things and fast forward, and then we'll go to that next step. Okay, guys, this is might be more of a video of what not to do than what to do. So anyways, I finished this finally. It took me about 2 days. Obviously not completely 2 days, but it took me 2 days to finish because I, you know, obviously had to step away, do other things and that kind of thing. But what I decided to do, which, okay, first of all, I would definitely sand and prep and paint this cup white. I would do that because if you're going to do a white, if you're going to do all dark, then do a dark, you know, base or something like that. But I wish I would have done just white, okay? Then I think that would have helped me here with these colors. But also this, it wouldn't have helped me with the darker colors. But what I ended up doing, okay, was putting 2 coats. So I did all of the coats, and then I went back and did another coat with each and every one. Now, what I would suggest to you would be when you do them, like when you do this color and you go all the way around and do that color, I would just go back and do a second coat right then. Okay. If you want to put a little heat on there to dry it or something, but I would do it all at once. Okay. So this is going to take you quite a while. I think it will probably take you more than 2 hours, but, all in all, I really like the look of it. I think it looks really pretty. I did get some dark in this right here, which, I might have used a different glitter for that, but you know, like I said, just kind of think that through. You probably want all the glitters to kind of be the same type of glitter, pretty much the same cut, you know, fine, you know, ultra fine, whatever you're using. I would definitely kind of stay, in that. This is a little bit of a different style of glitter. It's more of like an opaque. So if I would have done the white, I think it would have showed up a lot better. But anyways, it's beside the point. It's just one little piece around the whole cup, but that's why I'm telling you this. So you cannot make the mistakes that I made. So I wanted to try this cup. I wanted to achieve it, and I wanted to film it so that y'all could see, you know, how to go about doing this. Now, for sure, we're going to put 2 coats of epoxy before I do anything. I'm going to do a coat right now, and then I'm going to do another coat maybe later on today, or a flood coat in, like, after about 4 hours. You just put another coat on there and boom. You got to make sure that that first coat you put on there is perfect. You know, I mean, like, balanced, evenly mixed, and all of that before you put that flood coat on. You need to be 100% sure that you did the epoxy right, because you don't want to have an uncured, you know, epoxy layer underneath a good layer. It's not going to work out well for you. So anyways, so number 1, sand prep paint. If you're doing like all purples, or if you're doing darker colors or something, you know, just gauge what kind of color you need to paint it. White, I would have done white on this one, and then, you know, I would have gotten, I think, a little bit better look here, but that's just me. Also, when you're peeling them up, and you go around and you do that color, once you're done, I would go back and do a second layer right then and there. I wouldn't go back and try to do a second layer. I think that probably took me a lot longer. So if I would have just done it right then, I probably could have banged out a little bit faster. So, because I was trying to be really careful to get it, you know, exactly within the line, you know what I'm saying? So, that's my throwing it out there for you. And I did go ahead and did the bottom. I just painted it. I mean, I did the best I could around the edge, as clean as I could. And then I threw this color, the patriotic color, on the bottom. I don't know, I just really liked the color of it. And that's that. So now I'm going to put 1 coat, 2 coats, and then we'll be back to I'm going to do lines on all of this. So this is going to be very tedious, but I think it's going to look amazing. And if you do it too, I think it's going to look amazing in what you do as well. And you could really go. I did see someone that they just took it and opened up it all the way across, and they just did one, you know, color all the way around. And I thought that was pretty cool. So, there's just a lot of ways you could do it. You could do 3 and 4 with different colors. I mean, you could really, come up with your own. You could do it where it's like 2 and 1 and 2 down in here. So you could kind of create a look that way. There's all kinds of ways you could do this. You know, sky's the limit. So, all right, now 2 coats of epoxy, and we go from there. Okay, I am going to go over exactly how I designed this chevron pattern and how I got the line here, this line here. So what I'm going to show you is how I achieved this. So I had to make sure that I was able to do it before I came on here and showed y'all. Because sometimes trial and error goes a little bit longer than you would want. Okay, so what I did was I got this. This is the exact pattern that I used, the exact size and everything. So I went over here to contour, and I took out, I just left one of these little zigzags, right? Okay, now I made this really big, zoomed it in like that. Okay, then I took a square and I made a line. I tried this several other ways, and if there's an easier way, because I needed it to be exactly the size that this pattern was, right? So that way we could you know, make sure that it fit to the triangles, I guess you could say, you know, the you know, the angle and that kind of thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I just kind of played with it here like that and got tilted up like that. And yeah, so that is the width and length of that one there. So then I went over here and duplicated it, okay? And then I just turned it to this side like this and got it to go just adjusted it just a tiny bit. And so there you go. So now we've got two pieces there. So these two pieces we're going to group together, and then we're going to duplicate this and bring it over. And then you're gonna have to adjust it just a little bit to fit the you know, because it's a curved, she curved it to fit the cup, you know, so we're gonna have to adjust it just a tiny bit. But the good thing is, once you do this, you do not have to do it again, because you are going to save this and you will have the exact shape and width and size and all of that. Okay, so you just kind of continue on like this, okay, and then you'll duplicate it again, and then you'll bring it over here, duplicate it again, and then carry on like such, and just kind of adjust and edit. And then once you do that, that's all done, right? So you will take this out, right, and you will group all of this, and then you will weld that together, and then you will have an exact pattern that fits the pattern that is on the chevron. So then we are going to oops. Okay. Don't delete this because it has your it has all of your things on there. Okay, so we're going to show all contours, right? So this, we're gonna delete these here because we don't need these because we've already done it. Okay, so you now are gonna take this and go back out like this, and then we're gonna get another square, and we are going to make it, we're going to open up the, unlock the size, unlock the deal here. Then we're going to do our width. It's going to be 115, 0.115, okay? Then we are, okay, 0.115, and then we're going to do 10 inches because this is about 9 or 8, whatever this is, 8. This is 8, but you want that kind of play because you're going to be going down and curving and that kind of thing. So you don't want to do them too short because they will they could come up short. You know what I'm saying? So you basically and then you just want to check, because if you're doing a 30 ounce or something, you just want to check that it's going to fit in that real nicely, okay? Make sure that it is 0.115 and 10. think it's 0.15. I think that's what it was. Let me check to see what I did here, because I did them. Let me open these up. Sorry. Yeah, 0.115. Oh, and I did 9 inches. 9 inches. Probably is going to be okay. I might, I'm not going to redo it because I don't want to mess anything up. But if I was to do it, if I was telling y'all, I'd probably do it at a 10 inch. Just to give you, or maybe 9.5, just to kind of give you a little bit more leeway. But we're going to minimize that, and we are going to get all of our chevrons and all of our lines. And what I did here was, there is 13 of these lines. Well, there's 13 of these. I'm not sure how many there are of these, but I counted the lines, you know, in the pattern, and I counted the chevron lines in the pattern as well. And then I duplicated it, and then I just grouped them all together. So that should be it. Now, when you go to cut it, you're going to see that all your lines are going to be there, and you're going to have 2 sheets with the chevron pattern. We might be able to, you know what, if we move this up, if we move these up just a tad bit, we could fit the other 2 on here. So we'll move these up. And we will move object to this one, and we will move object to this one. Now that puts them all on one sheet. So now we just have to bring these down here, and this one down here. And I've got a full 12 by 12 sheet, so we should be fine. Be perfectly fine to cut these. So, all right, now that's that. We're gonna do, and the material that I'm using is gonna be a foil, adhesive foil matte, and I'm just gonna do more just because it's not an intricate cut. That way, even if it cuts a little bit deep, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna be peeling them up and pasting, you know, and sticking them on the cup. So that's that for the Cricut side of it. And now we go to cutting it and putting it on. Okay, I have cut our, and I said that it was matte, but I actually did not have the matte that I thought, so I ended up using this more shiny mirror one. And anyways, I just used, you know, just basic foil as the deal, and I did do extra pressure. So we have our cup. Now I have sanded this so it looks really dull, but I've sanded it. I'm going to spray it with some alcohol and use a these never come separated, or they never separate the right way. Yeah, so anyways, I sanded it, I washed it. You want to make sure you do whatever kind of sanding you want on there before you start this step, because once you do this, there's no going back. You're not going to be able to sand you know, any pieces of this. Okay, so this is going to be an intricate process. I am peeling this off, and we are going to, let me sit down here. Oops. Okay, so let's go this way, and I guess I'm getting the point at the bottom. Now, I'm only going to go over like 1 or 2 of these because I mean, that's going to be way too much if we do all of this together. So I'm just going to, oh, you know what? I did not realize that there was like one of those clear protective things. So we're going to have those on each one. Okay, now we will get this. Okay, this is what this cup needed. It was cool, you know, I liked it, but okay, so I see that we're gonna need to stretch this a little bit more up here and get this so this will probably be easier once you do a few of them, but I've got to get this just right. Get that. You can always cut this too. So like if it's just not working for you, and these foils, they have a tendency to you know, stretch a little bit too much. So you can, you know, cut it where you need to. Just like that. No harm, no foul. Make that a little more straight. Okay. And get that one down. Having it cut just helps, you know, with, so I am going to cut this one and lift this up to here. Get that one down here. See? No problem. Okay, cut that one. And this will absolutely depend on your vinyl that you're using, because if you know, some vinyls may show more flaws than others, so you know, just be careful. And no worries, I just scratched that. The epoxy will fill that right up. It will not be a big deal at all. Okay, now I'm gonna do some finagling of this guy. Okay, we're gonna stretch this a little bit. Get this up here. Then we're gonna need to cut that, and let's get this we can stretch it from there. Okay, we'll have to maybe see if we can find a little piece that we can fill this in. There we go. Now we were able to stretch it enough. So there's that. Looks good. If you want like this piece here, we'll just slice that off. No harm, no foul. But you can see how awesome that's gonna look. And then to put those lines, it's gonna look spot on. Okay, let's do one more together. And then we will, let's see if I can get this clear piece off. There we go. Get that clear piece off of there. I forgot some of these I bought, and they had those clear things, and it had a note on there, you know, to take them off before you use it, but I don't have the little thing that it came in anymore, so yeah, so I forgot. Okay, now I hope so.